Now, coming back to enzymes. So we talked about amylase. This is the first enzyme, okay? Produce salivary amylase. So you chew your food. Another, what is another most common amylase that you get? The pancreatic amylase, okay? Pancreatic amylase and pancreatic lipase. So you get that in a capsule. Now, coming back to what are you going to take home? When will you use pancreatic amylase and when will you use, amylase and lipase? After having a sugar meal, when sugar is not getting broken down very well in the body, you need to start these enzymes. Another important thing you need to start is fungal diastase. You know what is fungal diastase? All of us have some fungus in the body. You have, we all like mushroom. Everybody knows about mushroom? We love it. Some people love it. Some people don't like it. But there are like so many different types of mushroom. Can you keep the, yeah. So there are so many different types of mushrooms. And a mushroom is nothing but the fruiting body of a fungus. And these fungus have a lot of, mycelium that connect the entire forest together or wherever it grows. And that's how in a forest, when one tree is cut down, the entire forest knows. Because these fungal mycelia are like the World Wide Web. They keep on transferring information like like an internet, telling things that what is happening in one side of the land and another side of the land. But unfortunately today, we are destroying most of our forest. And by doing that, we are destroying most of the soil. And there is a lot of things happening now about the soil, where people are talking about save the soil. And what is soil? Soil is something where you come from.
To all living things.
There is something called sons of the soil. Can you just stop the video? I'll tell you when to play it. Stop it. When I tell you play, that time you play it. No, keep it ready. When I tell you play, that time you play it. From 0, na? Put it on. Video, okay. So I want you to watch this video. This is about fungus, okay. It takes only 2 minutes of your time, and it tells us how the fungal networks actually talk to each other, and how these mushrooms and fungus actually helps us. Now you know that even vitamin D, they say from where do you get vitamin D? Okay, you don't need to take an injection on vitamin D. Of course you get it from the sun. But from where? From mushroom, but it depends how that mushroom is grown. Only when the mushroom is exposed to sunlight do you get the vitamin D. If you see your mushrooms, some of them are white and some of them are brownish. The ones exposed to sunlight after become a little brownish. At that time, cholecalciferol, vitamin D, is actually synthesized. Now, if you see a fungal hyphae, how does the soil form? In the beginning, earth was made of rocks. There was no soil, right? So these tiny organisms started breaking the rocks and extracting the minerals. You all been talking about these past 3 days that, oh, I need to take magnesium, I need to take selenium, I need to take this, mineral, that mineral, all these types of minerals. But how are these minerals extracted in nature? So minerals are basically part of the mountains. They get one leached when they come down to rivers. But today you've dammed most of the rivers, so you don't get that water. That's why you need fertilizers for your soil, and that's what destroying your soil. Secondly, in your soil, people have started using things like glyphosate, herbicides. All this destroys the soil. It kills all. You start using, antifungals for the plant. They say, oh, this plant has got fungal infection, start using antifungals. And broad spectrum antifungals destroy the entire soil. Once your soil is destroyed, your food is destroyed. And once your food is destroyed, you are destroyed. Unless the soil is saved, unless the soil is regenerated, you can actually, live a proper life because the minerals, everything comes from there. So you can just play the video with the voice also, the sound. Not that sound, the video sound.
The language of nature, and I believe nature is intelligent.
There is a world under the earth, full of magic and mystery. It holds the consciousness of nature's connection to all living things.
You know, these mushrooms, they can heal you, they can feed you, they can kill you.
It's not like a vegetable, and it's not like an animal, but it's somewhere in between.
They support life, they convert life.
As you're walking, there's about 300 miles of fungi under every footstep that you take, and that's all over the world.
The bulk of the organism is growing underground, and it's composed of these long threads called a mycelium.
Almost everyone knows about the computer internet. The mycelium shares the same network design.
It's amazing what we don't know about mushrooms. They really are a frontier of knowledge.
You can filter water. You can create medicinal compounds almost on demand.
They have incredible capacity to make things change very quickly. So I am super hopeful.
The psychedelic members of the mushroom kingdom are fascinating.
I have been a guide for around 350 psilocybin sessions.
The most glorious part was that it made me feel more comfortable with living because you're not afraid of dying.
We need to have a paradigm shift in our consciousness. What will it take to achieve that?
We can heal the planet. We can build the future. And our world is fantastic.
So if this is not made by me, this is available on Netflix, you can watch it. So it's important that you watch this movie on Netflix so that you understand more about fungi and you understand more about this mushroom revolution that is happening in this world today. Because there's micro enzymes, what I call it, micro dosing and micro minerals all go together. And now coming to our main topic, I'm going to tell you another important thing about melatonin. See, melatonin is produced in the brain, okay, by an amino acid called tryptophan. So tryptophan forms hydroxytryptophan, which forms melatonin. And this melatonin helps us not only in sleep, it has so many other functions. It is an immune modulator, okay? That is number one. And everything is dose dependent. And how this melatonin is administered. Now, when I say how it is administered, it means in what dose and with what other supplementary herb it is administered. So one of the most important herbs for sleep when you give melatonin is you add valerian root, okay? And also you add vitamin B6 that calms your body and, you start feeling good. Now, how does this work in cancer? So there are studies. There is a paper published on NCBI called Prevention of Cancer with Melatonin, published in Singapore. You can Google it, because I also Googled it and I put it in the slide. So prevention of cancer and melatonin, and you see that it is dose dependent. So if you have about 100 milligrams of melatonin a day, it is good for brain. Now I'm talking about 100 milligrams. Usually for sleep, you need 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams. For solid tumors, there was a meta-analysis where around 300 milligrams a day of melatonin actually helps, and you see some effects in the solid tumor. Now, when you combine melatonin along with cannabis, okay, CBD and THC, I'm not going to get into that, what is the ratio, because you already heard about that. It works well because the melatonin pathway is very near to the cannabis or the cannabinoid receptors.